I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. This is the Billionaire Brown experience. Let's go.
Okay, so here we are, third episode. This is John Fontanez on the other side. Say what's up to everybody, John.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I got to ask you before we get into episode 3, how do you feel that our conversations, or how do you feel that your story is being told so far?
I like the way it's being told. You ask some intriguing questions, which forces me to go deeper. And the things that we talk about, I'm able to, after the podcast, kind of think on these things. And that kind of brings me into the next podcast because I'm thinking about the things that we've discussed in depth, you know, and the things that I want to relate to people.
Man, that last episode that we did, we just finished it up today. It looks really good. I wish the whole thing that everybody can see on video, but it really, really looks and it sounds really good.
Excellent.
My biggest take home was when you was talking about with your father, and you were talking about, I think I asked you something to the extent of, you know, what are some things that you did miss for not having your father in your life for 24 years? And one of the things that you said, you was like a hug, and you were missing that hug from another man. And you were also talking about, what was that? Oh, just saying that he was proud of you, just proud of you to be his son. So I know we went pretty deep into your relationship with your father, how you met him. You know, it took 24 years for you to do that. But it sounds like there's still some things, there's some stones that we still need to turn over before we move from your relationship with your father.
Yeah.
So to that, where can we pick up where we left off?
Well, I was thinking about this in between because you had asked me if I was satisfied with where our relationship was. Mm-hmm. And I hesitated, but I said yes, because I felt like this was all I was going to get out of it. Like where we were at with me and my father, this was what I was going to get, what I'm getting now. And I needed to be satisfied with that. But as I thought about it, the truth is I'm not satisfied with it. I mean, I think the reasons are apparent of him not being there, but, you know, I'm a man of 45 years. I'm 45 years old, you know, you could almost say I'm a middle-aged man, you know, if I get 90 years out of this life, you know, that's a good run, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm a middle-aged man here, you know, I wish I could go buy myself a Porsche. Maybe I'll go test drive one. But so here I am, you know, I'm a man, he's a man, you know, we're these two individuals, and I still want more from him, you know. So I was thinking about this, and along the lines of us both being men, and really me meeting him as a man, as a young man, you know, at 24, we're just two men that are, yeah, he's my father, but we're two men that don't really share the same interests. And here I am wanting to be around him and hang out with him and be a part of his crowd. And I'm not a part of his crowd. You know, I don't do the things that he does. I don't drink anymore. We've heard that part of my story. So I don't drink. He's still a drinker. He's still somewhat of a partier. He's slowed down a little bit. He's 64 years old. But the guys that he hangs with are the drinkers, the in the bar, and all that. And that's not my life.
Will he come in your, so you can't get into his world, but is he willing and open to come into your world or no?
It doesn't seem like that, like I often reach out, I try to get him on the phone, I talk to him every once in a while. Mostly our relationship now consists of dinners, so we'll go out to dinner, maybe on a Friday or Saturday night. we'll go out, we'll enjoy a meal, we'll have some conversation. Sometimes it'll go a little deep depending on how much he's drank. We might get a little deep. What's
one of the deepest conversations y'all may have?
Well, one of the things he had brought up, I don't know, we were talking about my life, and you know what, he was saying that he was proud of me. He was saying, because he had seen me in my addiction, so he had seen me, like, he hadn't seen me grow up, he hadn't seen me start, he hadn't seen the initial path along addiction. But after I met him, I think I had mentioned early on in the first episode that I had relapsed. So when I met him, I was clean. And I was part of the church, and I was kind of along that path, but then I had relapsed. So he had seen me struggle with addiction for about 5 years, because shortly after I met him, that's when I had relapsed. Mm-hmm. And so and I was out there for another 5 years. So he had seen me struggle in addiction. I'd come around every once in a while. So we weren't really bonding then. We weren't really forming a relationship. I'd come around, try to, sweet talk him into giving me some money. He'd give me some money, or I'd see him in the bar. I think I'd mentioned that, walking past the bar, and I'd go in and I'd have a beer, and then I'd get, he'd throw me a 20 or something like that. And that's kind of what our relationship was for the first 5 years.
So what's one of the deepest conversations that you guys may have when you go to dinner?
So in light of that, he had said he was, he had talked about my life and where my life is now, and he said he was proud of me. But he had said that he wished, I don't even know if he said he wished, but he had made an indication that he kind of regretted not, although he said he didn't know about me, he kind of regretted not having me as a child, because he thought maybe my life would have turned out differently. It seemed like at that moment, like he got vulnerable, and maybe, wishful thinking, and he thought, well, maybe if I had raised him, maybe if I was in his life, maybe maybe my life would have turned out different. And that was probably the deepest we had went. Okay,
so you're going back to this satisfaction and what you like. What are you specifically not satisfied with?
I just think I want more time with him, Like, I had missed all that time growing up, and I just want time with my dad, even at 45.
So what would you do in that time? Like, what type of time? Are you talking about a vacation? Are you talking about a night of playing some pool?
Now, it's funny that you mentioned that, because he's a part of a pool league. That's what he does in his retirement. He's a part of like 3 leagues, I don't know.
Because like, what if he asked you? Like, what if he's asking you? Like, well, what time? Like, what do you want to do? What would you say?
I think it could be anything, actually. It could be pool. If he invited me out to play pool, I don't play pool. I'm not that good. I mean, I could play, but but I would go out and play. We actually went one afternoon. I was laid off, and we went and drove race cars. The cars, the indoor track, the
go-karts.
And I had never done it before. My whole life, I had never done that before. Always wanted to do it.
You've never did go-karts?
Never did it before.
What?
So here. Wow. And they used to have in Mount Laurel. They used to have what was that place called? The place with the video games and the track.
I used to go there all the time. Yeah.
It was on Fellowship Road. We used to go there and play video games, but never got to drive the cars.
Wow.
Malibu it was called. Malibu.
Okay, yeah.
So anyhow, we went and did that one afternoon. Me and my dad, and I was ecstatic. I was like a little kid. Like, I was hanging out with my dad, and this was just last year.
What?
I was hanging out with my dad. It was mid-afternoon. It was almost like I was a kid and he took me out of school, like came and got me early. And, we're gonna go race these cars, That's what it felt like, and that's what we did. And it was just and it was a fun, couple hours that we had spent together. So really,
was it the best? Was it the best 2 hours that you guys have spent together? What was the best moment that you guys have had? because if you could see your face, most people are only gonna be able to listen to this, but
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
see
yeah.
your face, and
I'm
your face
gonna tell
lit up
you
about this go
that
karting.
it was. I'm gonna tell you, over the last 20 years that I've known him, that was probably the best. Really,
Really?
really. It was something I had never done. I had never done before, and then it was something that I went and did with my dad, just me and him. There was nobody else a part of the clique. You know, it was just me and him, and we went and raced these cars and had a blast.
How good were you your first time? This was your first time. How good were you?
I did pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, I did pretty good. I got to tell you, it was fun, man. I can't wait to take my girls to do it, man. It was fun, but like if you're just talking about like some quality time, some fun time, that was it, because I felt like a kid. You know, I felt like a kid with his dad, and we were, like I said, it was just like he scooped me up out of school, like, we're gonna go have some fun today. Don't tell your mother, kind of deal, right? Like, don't tell your mother, we're gonna go have some fun. It felt like that. Not that I know what that would feel like, but I could only imagine, like, that's kind of how it felt. You know, he scooped me up, and we went and did that.
I have a question for you about this relationship with your father that you're talking about now. Do you feel that everyone in your same scenario feels the same exact way, but some hide what you're feeling? Or do you think that you're feeling a little bit different than most people?
No, I sometimes, just being self-consumed, I feel like it's only me, woe is me, I'm the only one going through this, but there's no way that other people aren't feeling like this as well, because I mean, just biologically, the whole parent and kid thing, it just works. That's the system. That doesn't mean you can't grow up good. You can't have, we talked about this last time, we can't have step parents that kind of step in and fill that role, and you get that from them or other people that but for me, I grew up and I realized I missed something, and it's been digging at me ever since. So I know that there's other people out there going through it. Like me, maybe they had that relationship, that relationship, and it's kind of on the borders, but it just isn't. It isn't, what maybe that either one wants it to be, and it can go vice versa. Maybe it's a father or mother that wasn't in the picture. Now he or she's trying to have a relationship with their child, and their child's like, "Whoa, you haven't been around," and kind of keeping them at bay. So it could go both ways.
So to get you the more that you're looking for, what would that look like?
I think it would look like, I think it would be him reaching out to me sometimes.
Okay. I like that. Okay. So you're saying as of now, you're doing most of the reaching out?
Yes, I'm doing 99% of the reaching out. Calling him up, seeing how he's doing, ask him if he wants to get dinner. You want to get together, and then, occasionally it happens. I think that would fulfill some kind of need or want in me if he reached out, if he gave me a phone call, like, "Hey, you want to get together? You want to have dinner?" And then I would feel wanted by my father. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah. I'd drop everything. I'd be like, "Yes, let's go. Let's get some dinner. Let's hang out." So.
Okay. So what's another one? What else would it look like? So reaching out, I want to come back to that one too, because I think that's a really big one.
Yeah.
That is a really big one that I know connects with a lot of individuals that are going through that as well. What's another one? What else would it look like? The reaching out, I got that one. What's another one?
Okay. I can't really think, because it really consists of time, so, him reaching out.
Wow, so wait, reaching out? Is that the only one you want to? Really? So you're saying if he was to reach out And you said it's 99% of the time.